So I'll answer the questions by just a statement. First, I'll tell you about Cole. Hyperextended left knee. We'll reevaluate him tomorrow and see how he feels. There is no rhyme or reason. We got our butts kicked. You give Cleveland a ton of credit for how they're playing and what they're doing. We didn't play our style of basketball. We'll look at it. We'll practice hard tomorrow and get back to work. That's what we know, and that's what's going to help us figure out some of these lulls and some of these situations, and we'll go from there.
Coach, after a loss like that, how important is it just to get back to playing your brand of basketball, regardless of opponent, just honing in on the areas at which your team can control regardless of who they're playing?
And that's what we'll do. We'll practice tomorrow. We'll get after it. We'll compete, and we'll figure out how we get a game on Thursday. But tomorrow's going to be a practice that we get after, and we understand exactly what we need to do, getting back to the basics, back to the fundamentals, the simple, physical, aggressive style of Orlando Magic basketball that we need to play. I give them a ton of credit for being the hottest team in the NBA right now and how they're playing, and there's a reason why they are where they are. They shot the lights out, and they took advantage of everything.
You just mentioned that they shot the lights out. When we talked to Paolo in Boston, he called the 17-5 three-point disparity almost impossible to overcome. Just it's 19-5, I think, if on the final tally. Just how do you
It's even more impossible. It's more impossible than 17-5. It's 19-5, even more so. Listen, you give them credit. There's a lot of ways we can look at this, and there's a lot of ways we can discuss it, and we can go back and forth. And I do appreciate it that we ask the questions and try to figure out what the problem is. Again, give them credit for being where they are right now and how hard they played and what they did, and they knocked down shots. You have to give them credit for that, for being the best team in the NBA for a reason. And then it's about us and how we continue to go back to playing exactly how we need to play, because we were playing good basketball. Tonight was not an indicator of that, but now we go to work tomorrow and figure out exactly how we get to that consistently.
Is everything on the table to be evaluated, or how do you evaluate what this loss signifies?
Probably a lot of the reason why I said what I said in the initial statement. Like, there's a lot of things you can look at, and I'm not going to jump and overreact and run to a lot of things, but I know that the way in which you get back to playing your brand of basketball is you get to work. You get in the gym, you go after it, you play, you practice, you get after each other, you communicate, you talk, and there you go. And then you find your way back through it, because it's not gonna fix itself in these moments. Again, you have to give them credit, and then you have to look at what we need to do. So we're going to focus on us tomorrow.
Jamahl, in what ways did the Magic get away from their brand of basketball?
You watched it. You watched a lot of it. We weren't closing out to shooters the right way. They got a lot of shots. They cleaned up a lot of offensive rebounds, 9 to be exact. They made 19 threes. We usually do a better job of taking out the three. We did not do that tonight. Offensively, I think we shared it early on, and then we didn't see shots go in. And I think then we started to chase a little bit. So our ability to not get stops in order to get out and get runs, you're taking the basketball out of the hoop every time. It becomes tough.
How much are your team's shooting struggles impacting the spirit of the team, and and how much is it pulling them away from what their identity needs to be?
We know what our identity is. And again, it's defensive. It's defensively, and that was not tonight. And that's why I said, again, they get a ton of credit for how they played and what they're doing and how they're playing. So that's one piece. They are leading the league in a lot of categories, and 3 points is one of them. And so our ability to defend that better and know who we're guarding and what we're doing in those situations has to do with us getting back to our body of work and how we need to do it and approach it the right way.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.